everybody. Welcome to the Friday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is the safe space where we set oppression, where we set oppression ablaze. How's everybody doing out there tonight? I'm so very excited that you all have made some time to come kick it with your homie, and let's get into the conversation about some of the good fuckery that happens to permeate the very wild world that we seem to inhabit. I ask Jesus all the time. I said, "Why, Jesus? Why did you deposit me here right now?" Jesus said, "Because, Kim, the people need, they need." And I said, "All right, Jesus. Okay, Jesus." Anyway, I do thank Jesus that you all are here with me. Shout out to Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, everybody on high who's looking down. We don't celebrate nobody that's down low looking up. We ain't worried about them. But I'm so happy to see you guys in here with me tonight. So we got some stories that we're going to get into. So a story I want to get into is actually a series of stories towards the end of the show. And it's just funny to me how there seems to be a real issue about child sex abuse coming from the ranks of police, the ranks of conservative politicians, happening online in real time on social media. And I don't understand why the Proud Boys don't show up at the police barracks and demand something be done about all these groomers that so happen to be police and politicians and the like. There's been a series of stories over the past several weeks of folks, content warning, diddling with children. And these people who are the alleged diddlers aren't drag queens. Isn't that funny how that works? The glaring hypocrisy, y'all. This is, I guess, this whole show is about hypocrisy and the behaviors that are accepted, I suppose, for the dominant group, the white cisgender hetero majority. But if people not part of that group engage in other behaviors, similar behaviors, or not even similar behaviors, it's a problem. It seems to be turning into national conversation. So we will join in and get into that. I want to say what's up to everybody that's checking in with us on tonight. Ooh, what's going on? Where did my chat go? I don't know where the chat went. Oh, there's a chat. Okay. Beep. I want to thank everybody that made some time to tune in with us tonight. Please remember to give the video a like and a thumbs up. They're running commercials on my channel. I don't know how to feel about that. It's like, am I excited? Am I glad? Am I repulsed? Am I concerned? I don't know. I don't know if I want. I don't know. I don't think this is a corporate friendly space. I'm confused sometimes when commercials run on the channel. I'm like, do they know what I talk about over here? Who cares? Fuck them. Anyway, oh, I see some love already being given to us in the chat on tonight. Thank you so much, Dee Dee. Oh, Dee Dee, thank you so much for being here tonight, Dee Dee. Dee Dee, is that the gifting of memberships? I don't know what's going. I don't know what all these symbols mean. Shit just happens. But if that is what that is, I think that is what that is. Dee Dee, thank you so much for your generosity. Dee Dee is gifting 5 people channel memberships, and there is some member exclusive content that you will only see on Burn It Down with Kim Brown if you are a member. So please be sure to thank Dee Dee if you are the recipient of that. Let me thank Latif because Latif gifted us with a very generous Cash App donation earlier today. Thank you so much for that, Latif. And thank you to Mama Lorraine. Thank you, Mama Lorraine, for all your support and for all that you do. Shout out to Anna. Big up to the good sis, Abby. And shout out to everybody. Hold on, let me get my shout outs correct here. What's up, 40J Blaze? Good to see you in here. Hey, Damien. Damien, you don't know how much I appreciate that you stay up late to watch this program because it's late in the UK. And I know you high. I know you over there puffing that. I hope it's good. I wonder what that weed in the UK is like, y'all. Where does it come from, Damien? What country? Surely it does. I guess it could come from the US. They could probably sneak that on a boat very easily. Does it come from across the Mediterranean? Where does the weed come from? Do you want homegrown weed in UK? But I guess with hydroponics and all that shit, it doesn't even really fucking matter where you are. You could grow some crucial wherever. I'm sorry, my brain is just moving aloud. Anywho, what's up, CB? Thank you so much for being here. There's Court. Hey, Court. How are you doing, sis? Good to see you in here, Court. Shout out to my mods, Latif and Courtney. They are the greatest peoples on this here planet. I love you guys all to pieces. Hey, what's up, Fernie Francais? What's up, Rianne Lamb? Um, Aggressive Progressive. Thank you so much for being here. Let me shout out. Shit, I forgot to hit the youngin back. But the pick up the status quo and joining them because they over there doing a members only Zoom call, and he asked me to join, but it was happening at the exact same time that I was going live, and but I would if I wasn't live because again. I like the people when they do good work and the people's over there doing good work. So big up to Status Cool News. Of course, always love to Black Power Media. Of course. So anyway, guys, we'll go ahead and get into it because I mean, I guess this is news. This is kind of cultural news, and it is bringing out commentary from all the corners, and at at the baseline of it all, it comes down to black folks cannot do what white folks do. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's a constitutionally protected right. Doesn't matter if you are at the beck and call, even if you are a multi-million-dollar wage slave, white massa will still yank that chain on you when they get good and ready to. And such is the case happening with Memphis Grizzlies NBA star Ja Morant. Now, Ja Morant, as you guys may have heard, first of all, he's a very talented young man. He's only 23 years old. He has signed a ginormous contract. He's got a lot of money in his pocket. And because he was born in the year 2000, he is susceptible to all of the pitfalls that young people of this generation and of this era are uniquely, literally almost by themselves experiencing as it relates to the proliferation of social media and cell phone cameras, right? These silly young people these silly young people, they document everything they do, and I don't really have a problem with what they do. It's the documentation, children. It's the broadcasting. It is, as your mamas, daddies, aunties, and uncles like to say, telling on yourself, children. If you learn nothing else from auntie on tonight, please don't tell on yourself. That is rule. That is a life rule that you need to adopt ASAP. But of course, Ja Morant is 23 years old. His brain is barely formed, right, as an adult. And I don't expect 23-year-olds to really have a grasp nor a true power or mastery of discernment. I'm telling y'all, discernment is so crucial. So, where are we going to begin here? Because there was some news coming out this week, and why this is important. Because Ja Morant, to me, is reflecting the the death culture that America raises its children in, socializes and conditions its children within. But because he is a young black man, because he is a very visible, popular, talented young man, he is being held to a standard that I think is tremendously unfair. And I am quite disappointed and a lot of Ja Morant's elders for being so hard on this kid. Because he's a kid. At the end of the day, he's a kid. So, Will, run the video. So, we're going to cut the sound out of this latest video. As you guys may have heard or recalled, that back in March, Ja Morant was in an Instagram live video in a club where he flashed a gun. The Memphis Grizzlies suspended him 8 games. That was back in March. And then this recent video, as we are seeing here, this was not even Ja himself going live on IG. This is one of his friends. And my God, the frenetic way in which these children shoot video. Jesus Christ. I said, what the fuck is going on? So, anyway. But as you see, or you may not see, but Ja Morant, you see very briefly him flash a little gun, and his boy realizes that, oh, he's got that steel, let me get the camera up off of him. You little immature, this is immaturity, you guys. This is young man bravado. This is unfettered access and the ability to broadcast yourself to the world, to millions of people on a whim, on an impulse, without any forethought. This is that. Okay? This is exactly that. And I I'm sorry. Are they robbing somebody? Is Ja Morant pointing that gun out the window? Is he telling somebody to get down to lay down? Is he pointing the gun at his friend? Is he pointing the gun at himself? No, he isn't. He is not. And the fact that this what we are seeing right here, this is being characterized as a quote gun incident. Chow, if these motherfuckers don't stop. And I'm not even talking about the kids in the video. I'm talking about the mainstream of white America, of black respectability America, pulling their hair out about how could this young man with all this money be on internet doing this, that, and the third. He's a child of America. Okay, he has been taught that gun culture is to be worshipped, is to be something that helps to make him into a man, helps to enhance his manhood. Like, and that's not a lesson I'm sure he learned from his father or for his grandfather. That's him watching television, playing video games, watching the news. Like that, this is how American children are indoctrinated into gun culture. And it's wild that the whole of America seems to be angry at Ja Morant when really what Ja Morant and really the behaviors of his entire generation are really a reflection of the way that they have been socially conditioned. By whom? By us, by the adults, by their parents, by their grandparents, by people who are their parents and their grandparents' ages, by their teachers, by their community leader, by a lot of fucking shit. And I don't like the way that this young man is being singled out for this. Okay? And I wanted to point out so like I said, there have been some consequences here. Will, when you get a moment, can you please pop up that TMZ article? Because as I mentioned already, Ja Morant is facing some punitive shit. The Grizzlies have suspended him from all team activities. Now we know we are in the NBA offseason. So ain't shit going down at the facility. I guess if they wanted to show up and hit the weight room or go shoot around, they could do that. But they said y'all can't show up to do that. All right, cool. But now Nike is weighing into this as well. And this story was broken by TMZ. It says that Ja Morant's sneakers have been removed from the Nike app and from the Finish Line app as well after second gun incident. Again, what the fuck is this gun incident framing? See, incident to me denotes that something occurred with a gun. You understand? A gun merely being in the hands of a legal adult in a state and allegedly in a country where he is allowed to possess such guns, to me does not make an incident. But again, this is the fear of a black planet. This is the fear of black folks asserting their Second Amendment rights, right? Which again, we can have a conversation about, is it good to have an alleged constitutional right to bear arms? No, to me, that is also an outgrowth of the white supremacist settler colonial state of America. America wouldn't be America but for the fucking gun. So naturally, they enshrined it into the Constitution, not for people like John Morant, of course, but for the white property owners, the white slave owners, the men specifically. They was not thinking about John Morant when they put the Second Amendment. But again, making America again once again confront its hypocrisy on allegedly the land of the free, that everybody has freedoms, everybody can do whatever. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get back to this article. So, like I said, Nike says, here TMZ says, okay, it says if you're trying to cop John Morant's signature sneakers, you're going to have to look somewhere other than the Nike website, because the NBA superstars' kicks are nowhere to be found online in the store or on the app via Finish Line. And while Nike has not formally dropped Ja Morant, okay, because his sneakers were supposed to be released, I think, back on April 19th, according to this article, and they have been very popular, but they have also not been available. They've been very available, not unavailable. In fact, outside a few t-shirts, there wasn't anything Morant related on the Nike app or on the Finish Line app. So I hope actually Nike, I want Nike to reconsider this because this is a soft punishment. This is not Nike coming out and saying that we are no longer in the Ja Morant business. And again, we can have a bigger conversation about the corporate exploitation not only of these athletes but of the labor overseas that makes these sneakers for pennies on the dollar, if that, in the conditions that they work in. So it's definitely fuck Nike as an entity, as a corporation, as a record label, as a movement. Fuck Nike, no doubt. But while we talking about these first world problems, so to speak, let's keep it there for the moment. I hope Nike does not continue down this path as it relates to this young man because John Morant has not committed any criminal infractions. In fact, I mean, what the fuck? He's not charged with anything. Police are not looking into anything because he did not do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. He displayed a behavior that makes white people uncomfortable. Man, now where isn't that a common theme? Nowadays, when black people, particularly in these cases, I'm thinking obviously about Jordan Neely, are a very, very different contrast of extremities, right? But the theme is the same, right? Like young black men making white folks uncomfortable. Something must be done. Got to bring them to heel somehow, some way. Let me tell y'all who is on the good side of this. Can you pop up? And if there's several people on the good side of this. This is why I wanted to add my voice to this because I wanted to be on the right side of this because I don't appreciate all the bullshit coming at this young man and this kid didn't do literally anything wrong. He flashed a gun on Instagram. So the fuck what? It's fucking America. Everybody flashes. I mean, I know not everybody. I don't be on the internet flashing guns, but I think I'm grown. You understand? And the kids, it's too tempting. You know what I'm saying? The kids want to be online stars, even though the child is a star in real life. You see his buddies want to be, extended stars, have that extended fame, that vicarious fame through their very famous friend. But a lot of the criticism towards Ja, like I said, has been coming from, in my opinion, conservatives and respectability Negroes. My least favorite, ma'am. That's right. Some of my least favorite people. So fuck them. Um, and Chuck Modiano and Chuck Kalanji Changa online brought up some good points. Can you bring up Chuck's tweet for me there, Will, replete with the images? Because it's funny when all of the criticism towards Ja in part contains the moralistic shaming, like, oh, he's a role model. He's got kids looking up to him. How could he behave this way? How could he do this? How could he do that? Chuck Modiano posted this to his Twitter feed, and these are pictures of Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. I believe she represents somewhere in Colorado, and Thomas Macy celebrating Christmas with their children. Do you see the children bearing big arms there, kids? Do y'all see these grinning clans people and their progeny bearing big guns? Do you guys remember any sort of nationalistic discussion around should these Congress people be allowing their very small children to handle AR-15s and rifles? What kind of message does that send? In an era where we are seeing such gun violence, particularly amongst America's youth, How come these Congress people are not getting the same kind of blowback that Ja Morant is getting? You would think that actually Congress people allegedly, our elected officials, our leaders, might be held to a higher standard than, say, as Diallo would say, a ball chaser. You know what I'm saying? You might hold the Congress people in a little bit higher esteem than you would a ball chaser. But no, in America, black celebrity equates black leadership, and that's wrong. And that's white folks that do that, and some black people buy into that. I don't look for no fucking basketball player to be the role model or the moral leader for black children. Their parents should be that. And they should be looking to better people than just pro athletes. Look for people who got something good to say, who operate good deeds. You can admire the athlete for their athletic prowess, but don't look up to them. You don't want to be like them. Sure, you might want to be rich like them. Pop up, let me tell you, this is so the next video, we're gonna cue up the video that Kalanji posted there, Will. Let me go to the chat. I'm not even looking, my bad, everybody. Kalanji posted something and that I agreed with, and he referenced the 2018 campaign ad of Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, who is now in his second term. And Kalanji expressed that while he may not fully agree with everything that Ja Morant was doing on social media, but he wanted to point out the glaring hypocrisy when it comes to who gets chastised, who gets punished, who gets put in their place, and who doesn't. And when powerful white men in a campaign ad point a gun at a young person and makes a veiled threat, that doesn't even register a ripple on the outrage meter in America. Let's run this campaign ad posted by Kalanji Changa. Big up, big up, big up. And just note the shit, y'all. Take a look.
I'm Brian Kemp. This is Jake, a young man interested in one of my daughters.
Yes, sir.
Jake asked why I was running for governor. I said, 1,
Cap government spending.
2,
Take a chainsaw to regulations.
3,
Make Georgia #1 for small business.
and 2 things if you're going to date one of my daughters.
Respect,
And
a healthy appreciation for the Second Amendment. Sir.
we're going to get along just fine.
Brian Kemp for governor.
And he won. and he's been reelected. Where was the outrage? Where was the outrage? Openly threatening a suitor potential of his daughter. I don't know if that kid was a real suitor. He was probably a fucking actor. It don't fucking matter. It was the sentiment being conveyed through a campaign ad. And you know why? Because Brian Kemp knows that he has all the protections, all the privileges. It's okay for Brian Kemp to point guns and carry guns and make veiled threats against people as he's running for governor, because that's expected behavior. But people like Ja Morant have to stay in their place, right? They have to stay in their place. Yippa 99, you see that shit? Teresa, you see that shit? Schultzy, the fuck? What's going on? It's a madness. But it's all right. I don't even know who to play first, because I want to play y'all some commentary. And one of these comments is coming from somebody that I don't like, but they made the correct point. And another of these comments is coming from somebody that I thought I liked until I heard them make these points. And I said, never mind. So I'm trying to debate on which one to play first, because at the end of the day, they both some suckers. And and I'm already pre-apologizing for subjecting y'all to the opinions of these suckers, but one of these suckers hit it right on the head. So let's go with the sucker that hit it right on the head. And the reason why this person is a sucker, it's all old ACC beef. It's all old ACC beef. Even though I didn't go to University of Maryland, I still root for the University of Maryland, and especially when it comes to basketball. Now, before I'm getting off track, I'm gonna get right back going. Okay, so before Maryland left the ACC and went to the Big Ten, the rivalries, baby, that used to come to Coalfield House was serious. And our biggest rival, I say our, like I fucking went there. So the Maryland, the University of Maryland Terps, biggest rival always was Duke, baby. The Duke Blue Devils. And we hate Duke. I hate Duke to this fucking day. It's almost like NFC East beef. I don't fuck with the Commanders, but I hate the Eagles and the Giants and the Cowboys. And that's forever and that's for life. And I feel the same way about Duke. So when I see JJ Redick, of all niggas, of all niggas, making some salient points, I'm like, God damn it. I guess, man. All right. So let's check out JJ Redick on ESPN saying the loud part out loud. Let's go.
Again, we can go into the backstory of the incident with the teenager. Ja's claiming self-defense, that the teenager threw the ball in his face. We can go into the incident at the mall when he yelled at his security guard. We can go into the incident with the Indiana Pacers traveling party. As far as we know, all of these things have been investigated and no law has been broken. I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm not saying there should be no punishment. There should be. There should be consequences. You are the face of the league. You are representing the NBA. You are a role model to young kids. All of that. I don't think half a season is the right answer. And the last point I want to make, because you bring this up, the guns on social media. We talk about consequences. Look, in our country right now, gun culture is pervasive. It's pervasive. We've got mass shooting after mass shooting, and nobody's doing a damn thing about it. So I get why we're so sensitive to this right now. But there's no consequence for Greg Abbott telling his constituents that they should go buy more guns, and then we have mass shooting after mass shooting in Texas. There's no consequence for an elected Tennessee official to send out a Christmas card holding AR-15s with his young family, and then there's a shooting in his very district. There's no consequences to that. So why are we trying to lay down the hammer on a 23-year-old who didn't break a law? Explain that to me.
I appreciate JJ Redick name checking Greg Abbott there specifically because he's right. He is correct. All of these, particularly right wing nut jobs, do a lot to gin up the fervor around gun rights and protecting gun rights, and they'll take my guns from my cold dead hands. Like, that's all that right wing rhetoric all day long. And those same racist pieces of shit crackers will point the finger at Ja Morant and call him a thug. They're not the only ones calling Ja Morant a thug because there's a bunch of coons. Oh my gosh. Who do I hate more, y'all? Racist whites or fucking coons? I look at them. Ooh, the neck and neck is so close. It's so close. It's a photo finish as to who I hate more, fucking coons or goddamn racist ass crackers. Mm. So I used to dig Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown's an interesting cat. So Kwame Brown, I don't even remember what year Kwame got drafted, but he got drafted #1 by the Wizards. And I remember being excited, not because I knew anything about the nigga or anything like that, but because there was a Washington Wizards jersey with my name on it, right? It basically had K Brown. And I said, oh, I get to, oh man, I hope Kwame is good. How'd that turn out, everybody? It didn't turn out well. I did not feel any pride rocking my Kwame Brown Washington Wizards jersey because Kwame was a bum. And everybody knew it. Now, Kwame managed to hang around in the league for a little bit, but he became, I suppose, a voice of the Black manosphere online. I don't keep up so much with his opinions anymore. I was here for when he went at Charlemagne's neck and called him out for being an alleged rapist accomplice. I said, "Ooh, oh yeah, I'm always here for brothers calling out other brothers for being rapey pieces of shit. Go ahead, Kwame, go off." But from what I understand, Kwame is maybe taking a bit of a right turn, or maybe he was always right for all the fuck I know. But I'm gonna play all this. And this, how long is this, Will? Is this like 3 minutes and some change? I'm apologizing in advance for the duration because because I was watching it and I was like, I'm like, when is this over? But I watched it until the end, and I wouldn't have even found it if but for on the morning show this week. I think Jared had mentioned that this video existed, and I think it's been up for a few days. And I looked at the views, at least on Twitter, it has gotten what, 10 million views. And I suppose some of the right have seized upon this and been sharing this as proof, like, oh, look, here's Kwame Brown calling out Ja Morant for the thug he is. I'm like, no, Kwame Brown is on this bitch sound like a whole ass fucking coon. So content warning for coonery. Kwame's about to coon it up for probably a solid 3 minutes 40 seconds. But I think listening to this brand of commentary is relevant because there's a lot of this. There's a lot of this coming at Ja Morant. Again, a young man, a 23-year-old who is green as hell, obviously, right? And instead of all this sledgehammer criticism being heaped upon him by his elders, motherfuckers could have reached out and been a little bit more considerate. But no, listen to how Kwame Brown and his tone and his words and his rhetoric and his you out here showing off in front of these white folks sort of spiel. It's gross. But anyway, y'all check this out. Check it out.
Oh. So, Ja Morant, you like to play with guns, huh, boy? You like to play with guns, huh, boy? You like to play with guns. So instead of you just being in your house, buying all the guns you want, playing with all the guns you want off camera, you want to get in trouble for having a gun at a club, give a bullshit apology, and then show a gun on Instagram Live. I've heard of NBA young boy, but you NBA dumb boy. You got to be the dumbest motherfucker in the league. You got $231 million promised to you, and you want to be a fucking thug? Yeah, it's okay for you to have a gun. You have you have a right. You have a Second Amendment right to have a gun. But what the fuck do you keep pulling it out menacing for? What is up with all this music you keep listening to? Is this music putting you in a trance, dumbass boy? Because this music is about to cost you your fucking career. You're going to be bouncing around with niggas all day long, just listening to music in the backyard of a goddamn shack if you keep on being a jackass. You's an NBA dumb boy. And your friends ain't your goddamn friend. Because I done dumb shit before. And you know when I noticed a real friend, they're going to tell you when you wrong. And then they ain't going to argue with you. But they just not going to participate and go with you in the bullshit. See, a real friend don't keep telling no man over and over and over what's right and what's wrong. You just tell them and you let them make their own decision. But you don't, I wouldn't be the friend in the car next with you recording you doing something stupid. That nigga that got that cell phone and knew you got a gun and know you dumb enough to pull it out on camera, he should have never been recording your dumb ass because you NBA dumb boy. Thank God you can shoot a goddamn basketball, you can jump, because that's about all you can do. Your brain is fucked up. Because you got $231 million and you trying to be a street nigga? What kind of dumbass shit is that? Them niggas don't think you no street nigga, dumbass boy. Them niggas can't wait for your dumb ass to come to the chain gang. They gonna see how high your ass jump. Your ass gonna be playing ball at goddamn Pelican Bay, jumping over niggas in the chain gang. They gonna knock your ass out the air. They ain't gonna let you just dunk on them like that in the chain gang, you dumb motherfucker. You wanna be the new Gilbert Arenas. You wanna be the new motherfucking Gilbert Arenas. It's this fucked up ass culture where a black man just can't be a fucking black man. He gotta be a dumb nigga that's pulling out guns and shit just because he listening to a goddamn song. Since when music and a gun go together, you dumb motherfucker? Why do you niggas always gotta have a gun menacing in the air with a goddamn gun like that mean anything? It's all about who get that motherfucker out and downrange it on the target first. It don't matter you got a goddamn gun. Everybody got a motherfucking gun. Who you think you finna scare by showing somebody that little ass pistol? That ain't gonna scare no motherfucking body. So what the fuck are you doing? All you doing is making yourself look stupid. You are lowering yourself to the level of your motherfucking friends. And they not your friends. Because your friend should have looked at you with that goddamn gun in your hand, slapped that motherfucker out your hand, and fought you on camera. Because you know why? At least them white folks that paying you should say, you know what? At least he got somebody around him that care about him. That nigga should have been whipping your ass with that gun on camera so them white folks cannot void your goddamn contract. Because he eating off your dumb ass. And you gonna sink the whole ship because you want to be a street nigga. And them white folks not gonna leave you with that type of money, you trying to be a street nigga. So your daddy can smile at every game all he want to. But the moment them white folks see that goddamn picture, boy, you finna lose a shit ton of money. I'm done talking to your dumb ass. You just dumb. You just a nigga that can jump. You a straight up nigga. That's the problem. That is the problem. Somebody need to tell it to you just like this. You a dumb, stupid nigga. So if that's the point that you wanted to get across, that you a dumb, stupid nigga, I believe you. All this goddamn money these white folks giving out, $231 million, and you niggas just trying to give it back. You niggas just, I don't want the $231 million white man. Fuck you giving me all this money for? Get some of this shit back. Just stupid for no goddamn reason.
There is so much cringe to that video. I'm cringing. I began cringing probably as soon as Kwame started talking. A lot of concern about what white folks think, huh? a lot of concern. Oh, you can't piss off the boss man by engaging in your constitutionally protected behavior that was in no parts criminal. It just makes white people uncomfortable. Can't make white folks uncomfortable. They might take the money back. And then what are you worth? If you don't have the money, you're worthless. You a worthless dumb nigga. Apples and oranges comparing whatever Ja Morant did. And mind you, it's a big nothing burger. Ja Morant didn't do shit. Comparing what Ja Morant, his little gun flash on Instagram Live indiscretion, comparing that to what the fuck Gilbert Arenas did. Guys, I know we've talked a lot about Gilbert Arenas. I think it's because it's Will's cousin. The Gilbert Arenas keep coming up on this show. Y'all, Gilbert Arenas pulled out a gun on his teammates at work at the Verizon Center in the locker room over a bet, over some gambling shit. The most gangster shit that has probably ever been done in the NBA by fucking anybody. And I assure you, Ja Morant's friend going live on Instagram and catching Ja on camera for 5 whole seconds does not compare to Gilbert Arenas pulling out the pistol on his teammates. It doesn't. It doesn't even come close to rising to that. Number one, because the gun laws are very strict in DC. I'm pretty sure Gilbert was carrying that gun illegally in Washington. I know for a fact. Well, I'm making a huge assumption here, but I don't think that Ja Morant would be out there flashing illegal guns, right? I'm pretty sure Ja or somebody in his entourage went to the store in Tennessee and bought that goddamn pistol legally and straight up. And this assumption that because Ja Morant is carrying a gun that he wants to be a thug, I don't understand how people are automatically coming to this conclusion. I mean, guys, and especially if you're from certain places, the athletes, the celebrities, especially the ones that come around flashing, jewelry dripping, etc. Them niggas are the food. Okay? Them niggas get robbed. They get robbed. They get stuck the fuck up. Professional athletes and other black celebrities. And the way that Ja Morant seems to be handling himself out here, he might be susceptible to be robbed. I don't fault him for carrying. You know what I'm saying? The American culture is such, the gun ethos is such in this country. How could these children not be conditioned to think that a gun either actually keeps them safe or makes them more tough or makes them more of a man or makes them less likely to be the victim of something like a robbery or etc. I don't know what kind of threats Ja Morant's gotten out here in these streets. You understand? Like I don't make no assumptions about why somebody carries a gun, but I don't assume that it's always just to be a tough person. You know what I'm saying? Like people might have legitimate reasons for carrying, and whatever. I hopefully you're trained to carry and have taken all the precautions and know this, that, and the third. And I don't understand why this is not an opportunity for the NRA. I mean, I know why, and y'all know why, but let's just lay it out there. I don't know why the NRA isn't jumping up and down to defend Ja Morant publicly. Actually, the NRA, interestingly enough, concerning guns, just filed a lawsuit in Maryland against Governor Wes Moore because Wes Moore just signed some new gun control legislation into law. I assure you, they are still banging like shit in Baltimore, regardless of how many fucking gun control laws you got in the books. The gun control laws clearly don't work for shit. But the NRA took the time to do that. How come the NRA ain't speaking up on behalf of Ja Morant? I know why. The NRA didn't speak up on behalf of Marissa Alexander, the woman who shot in the direction or in the ceiling, let off, let me put it that way. She let off in the ceiling to get her domestic abuser away from her. They didn't come to her defense. They didn't come to the defense of Tamir Rice when Tamir was murdered by police while handling a BB gun in public in Ohio, which is an open carry state. I know why the NRA is not jumping on this. I know why pro Second Amendment people, particularly those that like to seize upon the gun issue so heavy from the right, aren't saying shit because Ja Morant is not supposed to be able to do what they do. Ja Morant, regardless of his wealth, his status, dare I say his class, he's still to them a nigga, and young black men with guns are dangerous to them. when really it's their kids that go to the school, go to the mall, shoot up the shit, but they scared of black kids having guns. I'm so disappointed in the lack of support that I think that this young man is very clearly in need of. Ja put out a statement. Hold on, let me see if I can find that. We'll run the B-roll again because I think this is important. Of them in the car allegedly flashing the gun. What did I do with that article? Yeah, here it is. Run the B-roll, my guy, if you don't mind, because I was going to read a little something. Because Ja actually did release a statement and he said that I know I've disappointed a lot of people who have supported me. He says, this is a journey and I recognize that there is more work to do. My words may not mean much right now, but I take full accountability for my actions and I'm committed to continuing to work on myself. And you know what? What more can we ask of a 23-year-old who actually didn't do shit, who actually didn't commit any crime, didn't really do anything wrong? Again, he's just making white people uncomfortable. He's 23. And you know what? The likes of Charles Barkley, the likes of Kwame Brown, the likes of Michael Jordan, the likes of Michael Wilbon, the likes of all these fucking coon ass niggas, and I say this with all due disrespect, can suck my fucking dick because guess what? Had there been cell phone cameras, had there been social media, in 1985 when you motherfuckers was snorting coke and running trains on the fucking UNC cheerleaders, nigga, woo, them white folks would have been coming for y'all black asses too. Okay? I don't want to fucking hear it. We are not going to hold these children, these young people, our youth to a separate standard than you geezers, you dinosaurs who have the fortune as I, who did not have my most formidable years captured on video and streamed to the internet. Like it's a lot of hypocrisy going around. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you guys think that Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan were well-behaved young men at Ja Morant's age? I would say no. I bet you Charles country ass and maybe MJ too. Them country ass niggas might have been carrying the pistol. Charles was up there in Philadelphia and Jordan was out there in Chicago. Now Jordan said he had security around him, which okay, makes sense. not everybody, not every young person who is in this position of tremendous talent and who gets anointed to be elevated to celebrity superstar and multimillionaire, not all of them have the infrastructure in place behind them in terms of their family support or in terms of their team, etc. Not everybody is up to the same speed as other people's entourages, so to speak. So Ja may not be at the point, or I bet you he will now, but he may not be at the point where he got sense enough that he needs to hire professional security. He figured his man Antoine got the got the Desert Eagle. Like, what the fuck we need to pay security for? My boy is holding that thing. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's young boy shit. That's young mindedness, and I don't begrudge him that. Like, you get to be 23. Yeah, I understand that he's supposed to be quote unquote held to a bigger standard. Oh no, you got to leave some shit behind. I guess, but that's not always an easy or a quick transition for people. And stop thinking that just because somebody all of a sudden gets all this money, that all of a sudden they know what the quote unquote right thing to do is. It, to me, again, it's shameful that this young man is not being given more consideration, and it's coming from these fucking coon ass niggas. From these fucking coon ass niggas. Do I have another coon ass nigga joint that I wanted to hit? I saw the video of Lil Wayne floating around. I've said, shut the fuck up, man. No, he's not a thug. Ja Morant. That was Lil Wayne's commentary. He was saying, he ain't a thug. Ain't nobody know where he from. He come from a place of 3,000 people. Let me tell you about my country ass relatives. let me tell you about my country ass relatives who do also come from a very small rural community there in Central Virginia. And I assure you, all my cousins as teenagers had guns, rifles, they had all kinds of shit. Okay, they had it all. So I don't see, and that was a stupid comment from Lil Wayne. Oh, you come from a town 3,000. What the fuck does that got to do with it? If anything, he's more likely to be carrying and strapped because he come from a small town. Because again, gun culture pervades America from the urban centers to the sticks, honey. The fuck are these coons talking about? I can't stay. Oh my God, y'all. We should put up a poll. And YouTube would probably take that shit down. Because I'd have to put it the way that I say it, right? I mean, well, who is worse, the racist crackers or the coon ass niggas? YouTube would be like, this is flagged. this poll has been flagged for offensive comments. Oh shit. Well, whatever. I don't give a fuck. But let me say this as well, really quick, because the talk. Okay. So we've seen for the first gun flash incident on Instagram, Ja Morant was suspended for 8 games. That was March. Now he's been suspended from all team activities with the Grizzlies. Okay. Nike done took a shoe off the fucking app. But according to, who does Woj report for? ESPN? Adrian Wojciechowski. Y'all know him. Longtime basketball reporter. He's the one who reported that it's being, I guess, discussed that Ja Morant could be facing a 50-game suspension. And you see, and this is where the shit gets out of hand. This is where the shit really gets out of hand, because this whole debate and kerfuffle and all this shit, to me, that's already out of hand. But now you really want to punitively punish this young man. You want to deny him from playing the game of basketball. When what did he do? Like, you have to tell me what he did. Like, what did he do really to deserve a 50-game suspension? What did he do? Like, and I'm even trying to I'm trying to go over it like in my mind. I'm trying to think what raises to the level of him being suspended for half the games. And nothing. Absolutely nothing. It is a punishment. These are actions with consequence. When you do something to upset the mainstream or corporate parts of white America. And the fucked up thing is, really, just by being black and existing, that's enough to ruffle the feathers of the whites. Think about Allen Iverson, y'all. Think about all of the hair pulling and the wringing of the hands. Allen Iverson with these cornrows. He's influencing the children into thuggery by the way he wears his hair. They trying to hold black athletes, black celebrities to certain standards of respectability, okay? And I don't think that they have to be that. Now, that might be the trade-off to get those big corporate dollars. And again, I think that's part of the reason why yours truly is sitting here and not sitting elsewhere, because there's certain trade-offs that not everybody's willing to make. And I think Ja Morant likely will be willing to make those trade-offs because of the amount of money involved. But again, because at his very tender age, and I'm giving him a lot of credit here at 23. You know what I'm saying? I've got grace, latitude, because I think he deserves it. He's a kid. He's a kid who, at the end of the day, didn't do anything wrong. And how many times have we seen young black people, young men, young women, young gender nonconforming people have things taken away from them because of simply who they are and how they express themselves? And America is the problem when it comes to this obsession over guns. Ja Morant's not the problem. Ja Morant is an outgrowth of that. His little flash on Instagram is a reflection of how young people in America are socialized to see guns. Even, I mean, we're talking about kids that have, like I said, have done the mass shooter drills their whole life. Shit that I can't even conceive of, to be honest. Like, that shit sounds scary to me. And I know it's got to be scary for you parents who obviously are there experiencing the mass shooter drills with your kids, but that, think about the effect that has on that generation in particular and the generations under them subsequently. Like, it's not a zero effect. I don't think it's right. Leave Ja Morant the fuck alone. Ja, you said what you said. Stop apologizing. You didn't commit any crime. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't have a gun incident. But your boys, your boys, your friends might actually be your friends. I'm gonna disagree with Kwame here because again, a crew of young little knuckleheads. But what else are they gonna be? But semi knuckleheadish at that age, and with the access that they have, and with the money that they have, and with the privilege that they have. Them old coons were savages, even worse than anything that Ja Morant has displayed here. And they are apparently just forgetting that shit. Maybe the dementia, the Alzheimer's is setting in with Barkley and crew. But please, if you think that anybody believes that y'all savage motherfuckers was angels, was angels at 23 in the NBA, nigga, please. Nigga, fucking please. Anyway, let's take a break. What time is it? God damn, how the fuck is it 8:00? Will, why you let me yammer on about this for an hour? Y'all have to throw a flag at me or something. I gotta get a timeout whistle. Something. Cause I didn't anyway. I just be talking sometimes. My bad. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Anyway, Will, let's tell the folks them about our abortion fund that we are supporting this month. Let me give a special shout out to Jaleesa Jackson, who is the interim executive director at the ARC Southeast, which is the abortion fund that we are supporting for the month of May. You all have already been very generous in your support for the abortion fund. I think we are closing in on sending them $100 that you guys have sent in addition to the $50 that the channel itself has pledged to the ARC Southeast. Go over to Black Power Media. I'm not sure if they clipped the interview that I did with Jaleesa Jackson this week on the Remix Morning Show. Sorry. But it was good. Jackie Lukman said it was excellent, and that made me feel amazeballs. That made me feel really good. I said, oh, shit. Jackie said it was good. So Jackie said it was good. So y'all know it's good. So go on over to Black Power Media and check out that interview that I did with Jaleesa. It was extremely informative. You guys, these abortion restrictive laws, these joints are killing women. They are killing pregnant people. This is genocide on the bodies of women in this country. And, shit rolls downhill in America. So if it's fucked up for white women, what you think it's like for black women? What you think it's like for indigenous women? For our Latinas out here? It's terrible. Bad situation. So supporting these abortion funds, guys, it's the small way that we can lend our assistance, that we can participate in mutual aid for people who need these services, who need abortion care. You guys, Jaleesa said, I said, y'all know, I try to be empathetic and shit. So I was like, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a pregnant person who lives deep in rural Georgia or rural Mississippi or rural Alabama. And with Florida just enacting their 6-week abortion ban, and what's the news out of North Carolina, Courtney? Some bullshit, right? Like they passed, or the North Carolina legislature overrode, what was it, the governor's veto, and now North Carolina is going to be at 12 weeks at abortion restriction. So if you lived deep in the South, the fuck are you going for an abortion? Virginia's at 15 weeks. Oh, no, wait. Maybe I don't think Virginia's at 15 weeks. And that's the other thing. The shit is so fucking higgy hagger, as Kalechi would say. Like from state to state, it's something fucking different. Oh my God. I hate it here so goddamn bad. I'm sorry, what was I saying? Okay, yeah. So if you're deep in the country, where the fuck are you going? Where are you going to get an abortion? Illinois? You got to go to New Mexico? You got to come all the way up to fucking Maryland? You got to go to New York? We're talking thousands of dollars here, everybody. Thousands of dollars to get a single procedure. It is outrageous. Please, foreign husband, I implore you. Good standing in your home nation. I cook really well. I have to get out of here, y'all. I must depart this nation because it's a fucking madness. So anyway, I'm sorry. Support the abortion fund is long-windedly what I am trying to encourage everybody to do. The ARC Southeast, if you look at the chat box at the top of chat, click on the chat box and go to our link tree. Molly has included a direct link to the ARC Southeast for you to donate to them directly, or you could run us some bucks. You just need to designate that it's for the abortion fund. You could do that in the super chats. You could do that at Cash App, $BIDWKB, Venmo at BIDWKB, PayPal.me/BIDWKB. Just denote that it's for the abortion fund, and we will include it with the funds that we have already collected. I'm sorry, you guys see, like I kind of go off when I talk about this shit because it's I can't say what it makes me want to do because they're going to say that I'm advocating for violence. But I don't. This is a violence on the on women's bodies. Like I'm sorry, we cannot meet violence with passivity. You feel me? Like it's time to get rowdy behind this shit, y'all. Seriously. I'm thinking about your daughters. I'm thinking about your sisters. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about everybody. I swear to God I am. It just makes me so goddamn mad. Schultze, is that for the abortion fund? Schultze, come through. Come through, baby. Thank you so much, Schultze. Thank you, Schultze. Schultze, you've been an OG with us. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So hold on, let me get to my next story here. Do me a favor, shout out to everyone that might be watching us outside of the YouTube platform. If you are catching us on Twitch, hello. How you guys doing, Twitchers? If you're watching us on the Twitters, it's a wasteland over there, isn't it? I'm glad you were able to find us on Twitter, because Twitter is a fucking wasteland. I don't know what the hell's going on over there, but you can follow us over there anyway at Burn It Down KB on twitter.com. Twitter's Elon Musk is a whole ass piece of shit. Can't stand them. Oh, Courtney. Oh, Court, that was kind. Thank you so much for your Cash App support, Courtney. I'm telling you, I love you guys. I'm telling y'all. Again, do you think Jimmy Dore's chat is like this? Fuck no. I ain't never even watched Earn Your Leisure. And I can tell you that shit ain't like this over here. No, it isn't. What am I looking for? I'm just flipping. Okay, I know what I'm looking for. Ha, 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 ha. Sucker, you missed. I put feelings aside. I know who I am. My name is Light. Is your name Sam? Because if it is, step off. Grab your coat and get lost. Wrap a scarf around your neck. No. She said wrap a scarf around your throat. Go on and catch a boat and hit the road, Sam. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Sam. Don't you come back no more. All right. Well, let's see. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get refocused here. I got a little I got a little off track of my apologies for that. Thank you all so much for being here. Please remember to like, follow, subscribe, share. Try to do as many of the free things as you can because we appreciate the free support over here as well. So, I favorited this or put this in my Twitter bookmarks. Maybe this was maybe a week and some change ago. You guys know I don't break fucking news over here. You know what I'm saying? This is not a breaking news operation. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. Because there is so much news and a lot of it is overwhelming. And sometimes shit that's interesting and relevant can get missed depending on what is actually more popping in the news cycle on that day. And I saw this story and I said, hey, that kind of looks important. I said, that looks important. So there's been a lot of talk, particularly from the right, regarding groomers. This deep concern that right-wing extremists seem to have with kids' genitals, I find very weird. I find it very strange. They want to check the kids' genitals before the kids play the sports. If somebody thinks that the kids' genitals don't match the kids' designated gender assigned sport, everybody gets to go in the kids' it's fucking weird. And the harassment and the targeting specifically of drag performers across the country, not only in armed thugs showing up when drag performers have not only had their shows, but when they have done these in-person reading hours with children, you have these Proud Boys showing up armed and threatening people, right? And let's be clear, the incident that happened in Colorado, was that even this year, guys, or was that late last year? Where some asshole showed up and murdered people because there was a drag performance. And thankfully that there was a person to take down this murderer, and the drag performers stomped his ass out to boot. But there's been this sanctioning of violence against specifically either drag performers or people who are gender non-conforming and or trans, and it's truly horrific. But it's done under the guise of protecting children. You know, these people are freak shows. These people are weirdos. Surely they're harming kids. Where's the proof? Where is it? Where is it? Now listen, there are people who are harmful and predatory to kids across the gender spectrum, across the racial spectrum, across socioeconomic lines. Like, unfortunately, targeting children for abuse is something that everybody kind of not. And I don't mean everybody. I mean, you will find those kinds of folks coming from all walks of life. Right? It's not one particular group. But but it would seem as though there is a seemingly a particular group, and it's those affiliated with the right themselves. So, Will, if you could pop up that first tweet from the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition. You guys might be familiar with the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition because we reported about their work here on this channel, and these people have been sued by the city of Los Angeles for publishing the pictures, the photos, as you see there, of members of the LAPD. But this information was public record. The Stop LAPD spying coalition committed no laws, broke no laws, committed no crimes by publishing these photos of these officers. So the fuck. But they reported this. What day was this? What does I don't know what day it was. It was recent. It was recent. So what it says another LAPD officer just got charged with child sex abuse. And then they posted a link to the press release, which we're going to look at in a second, because I want you guys to see what this press release actually looked like. And it says Paul Razo, Razo, it's charged. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Content warning for this. This is going to discuss sex abuse, child sex abuse, uh, and police brutality. I suppose the police is abusing the children. That's brutality. So my apologies for not making that disclaimer at the top of the segment. It said Paul Razo is charged with sexually assaulting 4 boys. From 2007 to 2016, he was a cop the whole time. In 2018, the Los Angeles Chief Moore awarded him a Medal of Valor for, quote, bravery, decisiveness, and selfless actions. So this is a decorated cop. LAPD, Paul Razo, now charged sexual assault on 4 boys over a period of 9 years. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, keep his picture up there. We got his badge number. And see, this is the kind of information that the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition publishes. They will publish their badge number. They have an email address, I suppose. This is his, I'm not really sure what that is, to be honest. His ethnicity, Hispanic. He is male. He was deployed out of the Hollywood division, and he was officer 3. That was his rank, and he was hired in 1999. He must not have been a good officer. How come you ain't made detective yet, chief? In 2022, again, shout out to the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition, because this is all relevant information. It says in 2022, his regular pay was $99,524.46. Does not have his overtime pay, but then it has other pay. This could be his benefits. Let's see, $20,228.26. Other benefits, $8,807.95. Made a lot of money. Yeah. What does that say? Retirement benefits, $30,000. Jesus, they paid this alleged pedophile pretty penny, 6 figs. I bet you they put him in charge of sex crimes. They said, Paul, why don't you go investigate child sex crimes? Paul said, I'm on it. Except he was really on it. Thank you so much to the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition for publishing that. Can you put up that link to the press release? I want you guys to look at this. And actually, Will, I actually meant to ask you before we went on. Just go ahead and put it up, because y'all know my situation, right? So sometimes I see shit and I'm like, well, this looks a kind of way to me, but it may look different to people with los ojos mejor, right? Mejores. Las personas quien tienes los ojos mejores. ¿Sí? ¿Verdad? ¿Comprendes? Claro. Okay. So that's the regular page, right? Is it me, or is that font in like 6 point? is that not like 6-point font? Do y'all see that? And that's how it looked when I went to pull it up. I said, who can fucking read this? And kids, clearly that's intentional, right? This is from the Los Angeles County Public Information, whatever the fuck. And this is them posting the shit about one of their officers allegedly sexually assaulting 4 boys over the course of years while he was a cop the whole time. And they don't really want you to see the shit, because if they did, they'd have made it at least 12 point 12 point size font. And again, my apologies, you guys know I tend to laugh at inappropriate times about inappropriate things. And do I find the assault of children funny? Not at all. Let me be very clear about that. What I find funny is the ways in which they disseminate this information, right? Quietly, like trying to draw as little attention to this as possible because they don't want it known that the real groomers are deployed out of the Hollywood division at the fucking Los Angeles Police Department. And I'm just wondering, I mean, it's going to be a nice weather weekend in LA. Shouldn't the Proud Boys show up? Shouldn't they show up in front of the police department and demand that all these groomers be removed from the ranks of taxpayer dollars? Huh? This guy is a decorated cop. Isn't that funny? But wait. It gets worse. It gets worse. Will pop up the other joke from the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition. Because for the second time in 3 weeks, another LAPD officer has been arrested for sexually assaulting children. Diego Jose Miranda Lopez. He Papa, the other joke, Will. The other pedophile, alleged LAPD pedophile. We got to put these pictures out, man. We're doing public service. Again, big up to the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition, but for, and I don't know what the times is. I mean, when I say the times, I mean the LA times. I don't know what them niggas is on. A lot of times they be on some propaganda bullshit, so definitely fuck them. But this is what the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition reports. What's up, Will? You ain't got it?
Saying there was only one picture in the doc.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, but
The article though.
No, because it's about a different youngin. It's about a whole different cop. I'm sorry. Maybe it was I may have aired and not put it on the doc.
Oh, good.
It's probably my fault. Thank you, Will. But I appreciate you coming on and saying something. But anyway, let me put out his name. If you're interested, you can go directly to the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition. You can go to their Twitter timeline. But let me just read this. So his name is Diego Jose Miranda Lopez. The LAPD officer has been arrested for raping a child under the age of 14. LAPD and the media haven't been publishing his photo. And the Los Angeles city attorney has sued us to censor this. And they published his picture. Wait, do I have a picture? Will it go sideways? Fuck. I don't know. Can y'all see that, Bama? It probably don't come out that well on the camera, but whatever. So that is he. That is he. That's the person allegedly charged with raping a child under 14. And just to be clear, just in case you live out in Los Angeles, you might want to know where this individual. Oh my God, they're out of the North Hollywood division. What the fuck is going on with the LAPD out there in Hollywood? Oh, and this Bama's only been on the force a year. They hired him in 2022. I wonder if he got a big bonus. I wonder if he got a hiring bonus. Wow. They just let anybody be fucking cops. So his base salary is $38,500. And then he got some little extra shit. He only earned a little bit of overtime. That can't be right. $212.62 in overtime. That doesn't sound right. Well, I guess he's a new hire, so the benefits probably trend up, obviously, with seniority and tenure, etc. But fuck him. Get him out of there. But there's a lot of this. I'm not going to even get into all the examples that I had, because I think the examples of the police being I have to say alleged. It's a CYA effort. You understand? Do I think these motherfuckers did the shit? Yes, of course I do. But I have to say alleged to cover my ass. So whatever. So I think it's important that again we focus and realize that the police themselves are filled with sexual predators, okay? If they're not outright racist, if they're not outright white supremacists, which by the way, we talked about this recently, but you can totally be non-white and a white supremacist and terrorize communities of colors and black communities, even with your non-white ass, right? You just subscribe to this ethos of policing and slave catching, etc., keeping the darkies in their place. You know, anybody can be the cop. But when it comes to sexual assault specifically, that's a scary thing because police hold all of the power. They hold all the power, right? If a police officer is a sexual predator or a rapist, what are the chances that you think? You know what I'm saying? I think about the story that we covered here a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago, where the cop himself had to shoot his supervisor because he was making unwanted sexual advances towards him to the point that the cop who shot the other cop thought that he was going to get raped. Like there seems to be a problem. like policing seems to have a culture of sexual predation. And I don't think that they're interested in addressing it no more than they're interested in getting rid of the few bad apples or trying to eliminate people who hold racist white supremacist views or who are themselves homophobic or any kind of that. Like these are all accepted behaviors from police until somebody complains. And then you have to see if somebody's even going to fucking believe the victim. Because we can't be bringing down cops, right? Bullshit. Well, let's talk about bringing down politicians. And this story, and we're gonna get out of here over this. I don't even know. Is anybody even still in here? Am I just talking to the wind, to the ethers? Oh, there's a few people in here. Okay, good. You guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I'm gonna turn y'all loose here in uno momento. I promise. All right. So now, originally, I'm not going to front. I did see this story on. I saw a clip, a tiny clip of this on John Oliver, and it was so ridiculous in its audacity. I sought the story out, and I said, oh, this is way worse than how John Oliver portrayed it. The 12 seconds that he gave it. I said, oh, this story is way more terrible. And you guys probably saw this. I'm probably just late to the shit, which is fine. Because again, we don't break news over here. We do not break news over here. And yeah. So you got that we transfer file, Will? You got that, Joan?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Will on his shit. Thank you so much. So this is a story that came out. Oh my God, is this last month? Maybe. A Republican leader. This is coming out of Tennessee. You guys remember the Tennessee lawmakers, the two black Justins who they put out the Tennessee state house. They let the white lady stay though, which is whatever. So they put out the two black Justins, right? For again, for what? For making white people uncomfortable. For taking their bullhorn on the floor of the state house and making white people uncomfortable. Punishments had to been meted out, right? There must be consequences when black people make white people uncomfortable. They got to put them out, do something. So, but it just so happens one of the legislators there in the Tennessee State House, who also voted to expel the two black Justins, had to resign themselves after they were found guilty of sexually harassing interns. So there's a couple things I want to tell you guys to look out for in this piece. First of all, I want to give a big up to the boomer journalist who did some real muckraking and got in this politician's shit and did not let his ass off the hook. That's old school journalism. We about to see some real old school journalism go down here because I appreciate that. I respected that. And second, those would be Proud Boys, those who claim to be trying to clean up groomer culture and get rid of the groomers and expose the groomers. those individuals might see this story and say, well, these girls were 18, 19 years old. They were legal. But the number of times that they rebuffed the sexual advances of this much, much older man still leads me to believe that had these girls been 16 and 17, this fucking creepy piece of shit would have came at these chicks the exact same way. So there is that. Will, if we could please, let's go to Tennessee and check out this wild, like this shit is so bonkers. And I was so very impressed with the way that the local press handled this story. So let's take a look.
This is News Channel 5 at 6.
We have just received a letter from him resigning immediately, and we accepted it. All right.
Thank you.
And with that, House Speaker Cameron Sexton announces the resignation of a member of his Republican leadership team just hours after News Channel 5 Investigates exposed a sexual harassment scandal involving that lawmaker. Hello, everyone. I'm Carrie Sharp.
And I'm Vicki Yates. Representative Scotty Campbell was among those who recently voted to expel the Tennessee Three, but it turns out Campbell and the GOP had their own secrets.
As our Phil Williams discovered, Campbell had quietly been found guilty of sexually harassing legislative interns, but nothing had happened, Phil, until today.
That's right. We discovered that the East Tennessee Republican had been found guilty in that secret process of sexually harassing the college interns, accused of some extremely vulgar behavior. But Campbell didn't lose his leadership post in the Republican caucus nor his committee seats. That all changed within hours after we confronted him this morning. Hey, Representative Campbell, how are you, sir? We wanted to give the East Tennessee Republican a chance to respond to the findings of our latest investigation of Tennessee's Capitol Hill. As I understand, you admitted to sexually harassing this intern?
Give me just 5 seconds. Okay.
In fact, Scotty Campbell already knew we were investigating some serious allegations.
Hold on just a second.
About his relationship with at least one legislative intern, although he would soon divulge there was a second intern.
Which direction do I need to look for your camera?
Just look at me.
Sure.
Campbell is vice chair of the House Republican caucus, and when 3 Democrats engaged in a gun violence protest on the House floor, he voted to expel all 3. Yet this memo, obtained by News Channel 5 Investigates, shows a secret ethics panel recently concluded that based on a staff investigation, the ethics subcommittee finds that Representative Campbell violated the legislature's sexual harassment policy.
I had consensual adult conversations with 2 adults off property.
One doesn't get written up for consensual conversations. The letter says that you were guilty of violating the harassment policy.
I think conversations are consensual once that's verbally agreed to. And if I choose to talk to any intern in the future, it will be recorded.
One of the interns had an apartment in Capitol Towers, a condo apartment complex next to the Capitol where Campbell also had a place. The Republican lawmaker allegedly saw her and a 19-year-old intern going into her apartment. According to an account the victim sent to her university, Campbell made comments about how he was in his apartment imagining that we were performing sexual acts on one another and how it drove him crazy knowing that was happening so close to him. The woman added, I uncomfortably explained that was not happening, and he insisted that he knew it was and asked me to tell him about it. She continued, I explained that she is my friend, and he proceeded to describe how sexually attractive he finds her, referring to the 19-year-old intern. You were in your apartment imagining that they were performing sexual acts on one another?
That's not true.
So she's just making that up?
Yes.
On another occasion, the woman says she went to Campbell's apartment to return a wrench she had borrowed. Quote, he proceeded to ask how many men I've slept with. She recalled, I told him 0, and he insisted I was lying and told me not to lie. He then proceeded to ask how many women I've slept with and said he bets girls go crazy over me. You asked her about how many men she had slept with and then asked about how many women she had slept with?
No.
So you're saying she's just making all of this up?
I'm saying that we had a consensual adult conversation.
Then, according to the woman's account, the Republican leader offered cannabis gummies if she would show him tattoos and piercings on her body. He denies it. Her story, I told him absolutely not, and he begged me for several hugs. She says I was getting progressively more afraid and uncomfortable. He then reached out his hand towards me and grabbed me around my neck. I recoiled and said I felt sick and immediately left. Again, Campbell says he didn't think he did anything wrong.
I was told that if anything ever crossed the line, they would tell me directly. And I'm hearing it from Phil.
But remember the report from the ethics panel finding that Campbell had indeed violated the harassment policy. So are you saying the ethics subcommittee is lying?
I'm saying that I did not know that a workplace policy could be enforced when you're not at work.
But News Channel 5 Investigates has learned that legislative officials took the complaints against Campbell so seriously that they've now spent thousands of dollars to get the intern out of her lease at Capitol Towers, to move her furniture back home, and to put her up in a downtown hotel until her internship is done. As for how Campbell thinks his vote to expel the Tennessee Three squares with his own behavior,
they broke the House rules of decorum.
And you broke the House policies regarding sexual harassment, according to this letter.
I had a consensual conversation with adults. And when the adults informed me that we could talk and that there weren't guardrails, I talked to who I thought were my friends.
Friends whose definition of friendship appears to be far different from this Republican's idea of what it means to be a friend. Again, Representative Campbell resigned about 6 hours after we confronted him with those allegations. Still, there are lots of questions that are not answered. Why did Speaker Sexton and other Republican leaders not act more decisively? And how much is this costing taxpayers? Legislative officials say that number is confidential, but you can bet we're not done investigating.
You better work. News 5 Investigates. Big up to Scott. Let me say this in the affirmative and not use it as a pejorative. Okay, Boomer. Okay, Boomer. You better come through, Scott, with your reporting and your confrontational running up on that man. That man ain't knowing what to do. He said, where the camera at? Where should I look? Just the repugnancy of the behavior that is accepted. Again, like you can be a groomer, you can be a fucking creep if you're a straight white man. You know, you can't dabble in no gender nonconformity. You can't be non-white, non-hetero and doing this shit. But white hetero cisgender men, oh come on. He was just being him. Oh my God. And at least I get to see the other side of where my hug at culture. I gotta say, because I was thinking about this the other day. Because I've worked in white spaces, I've worked in black spaces, and I cannot recall one of my white male coworkers. Well, actually, that's not true. I was gonna say I can't recall my white male coworkers be where my hug at, but I can think of several black male coworkers that I have. And they are big where my hug at, but. Oh, but just for GP fellas, I hope we don't have no where my hug at niggas in here. But if we do, with love, with respect, with kindness, with empathy, don't do that. Don't do that. Any woman who wants to touch you, she'll touch you. You don't have to solicit a hug or coerce some sort of physical touch. If she wants to give you a hug, she'll come give you a hug. Please do not be a where my hug at ass motherfucker. Please. Please. It makes the women uncomfortable. We don't like it. Let me ask you where my hug at. Don't come ask me where your hug at. Let me ask you where my hug at. So where are the Proud Boys? Did the Proud Boys show up outside of the Tennessee state legislature? Did they show up outside of this guy's house? Did they show up at his office? No. Because this is a hypocritical, phony culture war. This is just some shit that incels find to do on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? When they're not watching rape porn, you know what I'm saying? Because these people are very disturbed, sick individuals. When they don't have shit to do, when it ain't deer season, All they got to do is go around to fucking bookstores that they've never entered into voluntarily to go harass trans performers, drag performers for reading to children who are there present with their parents. We're trying to give the kids another experience outside of this cisgender heteronormativeness that seems to still dominate the large landscape of our culture. And for what? And for what? And the thing is, a lot of the pedophiles reside within their own ranks of the right wing. They accept it, they tolerate it, they encourage it. These are the ones putting forth the abortion laws. These are the ones trying to lessen rape and incest laws, trying to lower the legal age of marriage so they can marry children, so they can marry fucking kids. That's who they are. And that is who they've been. That is always who they've been. But their hypocrisy is very dangerous. It's very dangerous to our gender nonconforming family, to our drag performers, and they need to address their own. The killer is calling from inside of the house. The pedophile is calling from down the hall there, Billy Bob. go check on seeing what your brother doing. Do that. But anyway, guys, I've held you all for way too long, and I'm so apologetic for that. So thank you all so much for showing up here tonight. Donnie, I saw you. What's up? We have a Kamal. Is it Kamal or Kamal? I'm gonna say Kamal because I feel like when I say Kamal, it's almost like I'm saying Camus. Like I feel like I'm mispronouncing your name there, Kamal. But thank you so much for showing up. Who else? I'm sorry. Let me get back into the chat here for a second because I scrolled away. Thanks again, always going out to Latif and Courtney. Thank you so much, Franny France. We love you to pieces. Schultze, thank you, baby. Who else is in here? Who else did I forget? Is Alicia in here? I didn't see Alicia. Is Tyler in here? I didn't see Tyler. But y'all might be in here and I'm just missing it. So there's no harm, no foul. So I just appreciate. Oh, hey, Vesper. Thank you for making some time, Vesper. Teresa. I've been calling you Tressa, girl. I'm sorry. my bad. Teresa. She told us how to say it over on Status Quo. We appreciate that. Holly, aggressive, progressive. Thank you guys for making the time. Damien, go to bed. Please give my love to Lady Heloise. Of course, you know we love Hele. And big up to the hearts, of course, Anna and Mama Lorraine. Shout out to Abby. Big up to Afra. Big up to all people them. Y'all come on through. Shout out to you, Infinite Content. Infinite, yeah, I appreciate you, Infinite Content. My bad. I had to pop a little shit about the Eagles, dog. Come on. But to be real, when it was the Eagles versus the Chiefs, I was rooting for the Eagles. So, I ain't 100% hater. I got love for Philadelphia out here, Infinite Content. So thank you guys so much. Who is that? Say Nadia. Who else did I see in here? Lady Alex. I saw you in here, Lady Alex. Thank you so much for showing up. Oh, I do. There you go, Alicia. Hey, Niecy. I'm glad to see you guys. I know I haven't been on IG in a while. I just haven't felt like it. And I can't find my headphones. And I realize I need headphones to go live on IG. So I can't find the one because, of course, the iPhone keeps changing up the fucking input jack. And it just can't be like a regular fucking headphones input jack no more. Why? Because it's 2023 and shit is fucking dumb. I'm sorry. All right. I'm going to stop telling y'all to get off my lawn. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Oh, don't forget, y'all. It's coming up here soon in June. We are taking a break for the month of June. So we're not going to do any live shows for the month of June, but we will be posting other things. So just a heads up. Do not look for us come June 1 through how many days is in June? 30 days has September, April, June, and November. Yes. So 30 days of June. So there's that. So just a reminder. So anyway, you guys have a great evening. Don't forget, COVID is still out here jumping on people. Please mask indoors. Please. Your immunocompromised and chronically ill friends and family and neighbors are depending on you still taking COVID seriously. Please and thank you. Mask up, wash your hands, do all the fucking shit, social distance, all that, whatever. On behalf of Will and Molly, we'll see you guys back here on Tuesday. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Bye.